Hi besties, welcome back to the channel. My name is Maya for those of you who may be new here, and welcome to the final episode of Booktober. And it happens to fall on Halloween. So in the Halloween spirit, I did dress up. You can't really see all of it right now in my sitting position. So I will be standing up and giving like a full thing.
Morning, Abuelo.
I'm hoping to like do some sort of TikTok transition or something where I get to sing one of the songs from Encanto. Honestly, not gonna lie, I have been waiting for this day ever since like the movie came out and all of the TikToks came out where people were getting all of the costumes and cosplaying and everything. I was just like, oh my gosh, I needed to do this. And then my mom, who was watching the video with me for the first time, was constantly saying like, oh, she's you. You are her. She is you. And I'm just like, you know, yes. I will take that, yes. I am a slightly bigger version of her, you know? But, you know, we're very similar. So I was like, I've always wanted to get a costume from each of the people and just kind of do the We Don't Talk About Bruno song. So anyways, I have been wanting to do Mirabelle for the longest freaking time, and now I get to finally be her, and my dreams have been realized, and I am so happy. We are in costume. We're ready for some trick-or-treating, man. So let's go trick-or-treating. Imaginarily. The last and final activity of TBR Harvest is, of course, the most iconic thing to do around the Halloween season, and that is to trick-or-treat. I'm going to be using all of the books that I have read over the course of this month. For the most part, we've got quite a lot. So I'm going to do a graphic layover. There are a lot of objects that we could collect. First, we have a cup of coffee, hot chocolate. We have a hot drink. We had to read a book with a hot drink on the cover, and we did indeed have one of those. So check, there were some tickets. That is a new release that we did not get. A lantern TBR backlist, so a book that was published in 2023 or earlier. Yes, we definitely had that because we did not have any 2024 books. We had only 2023, literally, and further back. The most iconic of things that we can collect, candy. Have a sweet word in the title, and you could probably put a few books for that. The Mask. Ooh, this is one that I really wanted to get just because it looks cool. Read a mysterious read. And of course, we got that. The Garlic. The prompt for that, to have vampires in the story. We did not have any of that, unfortunately. Wait, yes, we did. Hold up. I lied. Okay, so there were vampires in a certain story. Let me just check that. Yes, we did have that, actually. Forgot about that. Glad I remembered. Okay, so we collected some garlic. Then we have the garden gnome with the sunflowers. So cute. And that is to read a cozy book. In order to obtain that, we did that. This beaten up looking little book there. That is to read a book with witchy vibes. We did indeed do that. Black cat. Read a book with a cat on a cover. No, we didn't get that, unfortunately. The jack-o'-lantern. Read a book with a pumpkin on the cover. We definitely did that. The caramel apples. Read a book with a romantic subplot. We did do that. The bats. Read a book that has the supernatural. We did do that. Then we have the pumpkin pie. Read a book with a found family. We did do that. Fall leaves. Read a book that takes place in autumn. We did do that. Salt. I love me some salt, actually. I like this. So read a book with a grumpy character. We did indeed do that. Ah, the videotape. Yes. We read a book that is a reread. Definitely did do that. Popcorn. Read a book that is a book to film adaptation. Okay. I'm taking it very loose definition here. Okay. I'm gonna try to explain this to the best of my ability because even I'm still confused. I don't know. I typed into my Google search bar book to movie adaptations, horror, mystery, thriller, and one specific book popped up. I was like, I own that book. That's fantastic. I want to read that. Let's go. I was so prepared. I started on a video doing a dedicated reading vlog. I go to type in this alleged adaptation. Come to find out, oh no, it's not an actual thing. It's gonna be. The plans are in the works. We're gonna get the cast and everything. Bro, then why is it listed? Because these other books have movies attached. I have seen some of the movies attached before I read the book. How sacrilegious, I know, I'm sorry. What? Moral of the story, never trust Google search. That's up to interpretation, and I interpreted it as I got the popcorn. The spider web is read a veteran book or a repeat author. And I did. Oh my goodness, this is even more of a throwback. This is awesome. The CD player. I wish I actually had one of those growing up. Read a book with a historical setting. We did do that. And then last but certainly not least, we have a bucket full of apples, and that is to read a book that is a fairy tale reimagining. Yeah, we didn't get that, but we got a fair few things here, and I am very proud of us. Cheers. Let's get back into the books with the reading wrap up. Holy cow, there's a lot to get through. Starting with the 2 books that I read in September that you guys have seen in the videos. The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson, I gave this a 5-star because, man, Maureen Johnson has to be one of my favorite authors at the minute because just the writing style, the characters, the story continuation. I genuinely love how Maureen Johnson handles true crime. You can tell, honestly, that she has a deep understanding, a deep knowledge, and a deep respect for the world that she writes about. There's so much in the way of things that I've seen online recently involving social media and crime, true crime specifically, and it kind of is something that, you know, I have so many opinions on it, and I'm passionate, and I genuinely feel like this is a topic of conversation that needs to be talked about. But also, am I the one to speak on that? You know, it's like there's a lot of like moral and ethical reasons why I have not even tried to go into that space, but I'm not going to shy away from it when it comes up in books. And I'm not going to shy away from certain topics of conversation if it's brought up in books. And just Maureen Johnson just does it in such a beautiful way, and in such a way that really makes you think and see, wow, this behavior is not it. And this behavior is it. Okay, why now? I'm very appreciative of her works. Plus, I just like the way that she writes. You know, she has a great voice. It's easy to read her. It's easy to understand. She has those deeper conversations, but she also has lighthearted moments. I mean, freaking, she created Nate, and I will forever be grateful for that because he is my child. I will protect him. And Maureen Johnson, the only thing that I have that could be in any way, shape, or form look negative towards you is the fact that you almost hurt my baby. And we need to talk about that. Was that actually necessary? I mean, I know it was because it helped the plot line along, but like, please don't hurt my baby. Me acting like I'm talking to Maureen Johnson as if she will ever see this video. If she does, I love your work. I think you're amazing. I think you handle very hard topics very well, very carefully, very respectfully. I love your work. I love your writing. I love your characters. And no, I am not actually mad at you for the near hurting of my child. I just am very protective of him for no particular reason, even though he's fictional. Okay, that is it. Moving on to the next book very, very quickly. A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik was next. I am giving that 3 stars. Personally, my opinion It was lackluster, the information was info dumpy, and there was no depth to the story. I see so much potential within the storyline, within the plot, within these characters, within the interactions and the writing. It just didn't translate onto paper. This reading experience, it kept me intrigued. It kept me there. It kept me seeing a lot of things that I loved in books, but it only kept me so much in the moment, and then I was ripped right back out of it because of like info dumpy stuff. Yeah, I kind of had to give it that rating because it was an average read. It was an average reading experience. It was not the worst, it was not the best. It was smack dab right in the middle. A Bookshelf to Die For by MP Black. This I am giving 4 stars. This was a good read. This kept me intrigued. This was a good little cozy mystery. All good. The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I gave this a 5-star because I loved the way that this story was written. I am very intrigued by the voice of the narrator and why the author chose this voice. I just love every single detail, and I love how each detail does not take away or take me out of the importance of the moment and what this means and how these people are described. I love that none of these characters are good. Oh boy. Then we had the mangas. Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell, illustrated by Erin Faith Hicks. This is a 5-star all the time because it's just cute, it's cozy, it's fun, it has deeper conversation, and I love it. Okay, moving on. Anya's Ghost by Vera Brasco. This, honestly, I'm gonna give a 4, not because it was bad in any way, shape, or form. It felt like there was surface level resolutions to deeper conversations. So for that alone, I'm gonna give it a 4, but it's a nice read, it's fun, it's got great animation. There is that one animation that is going to haunt my dreams and my nightmares for the rest of all time. We have The Tarot Cafe by Sang-Soon Park, 5-star. I just loved it. I loved everything about it. The pictures, the storyline, the fact that we literally still know nothing about our main character, and that intrigues me so much that we're going to buy a second book. So that is why that totally just like threw it over the top. 5-star, absolutely, yes, all day, every day. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. Ooh, if you guys have seen the vlog of the corn maze, I believe this was for the corn maze, then you guys know I have thoughts. I do. I am giving this a 3. Because the intrigue kept me going. I finished the book. I was able to feel a type of way about these characters. I, however, am not appreciative of our main character and how her story evolved. There was no evolution. She stayed the same. There was a plot piece about the reason why she came to this small town that I feel like was never resolved either. And I feel like that is very important to be resolved, or we're gonna have issues. And I don't mean like I'm gonna have issues with the book or with the author. I mean, I do have issues with the book, but it's not because of that. But I feel like her is the main character, and her relationship that she starts to build with her love interest, I feel like that we're gonna have some issues there. And I don't know, I didn't like it. Next up, we had The Candy Coated Murder by Kathleen Suzette, and honestly, 4-star. The intrigue was there. It was a very fast and shallow read, but listen, it gave us no promises of in-depth plot points or character points or literally anything, and it had a surprisingly, like, interesting, deeper conversation that could be had that was actually worked through and worked out. So yeah, 4-star. Last but certainly not least, The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner, 5-star. If I could give this 6, I would. The timeline, the setup, the formatting. I said this in the vlog as well, that featured this book, The Haunted House, Escaping the Haunted House, literally the last vlog, that this gave me such the Box in the Woods vibes with the formatting. Not necessarily with anything else regarding that. I haven't thought about it like that. But just the way in which it has such a care and respect for historical matters and things that are very much like sensitive in that way. Also just the way that it brought historical context in, that it made a story of intrigue surrounding what was being researched, and just the care and attention that it had, and the fact that a piece in this was not resolved, but it didn't have to be. So good. It's just so good. And now, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of TBR Harvest Readathon, Halloween spooky season, and October in general. I will be seeing you guys in the next video for a November TBR, so get ready for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for being the best bookish bestie that ever was, is, or ever will be, and I will be seeing you guys in the next video, which is the November TBR. Bye!